Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here, welcome back to the railway and welcome back to another shunting challenge. Now today's shunting engines are going to be Thomas, as you can see there, and James. Now those of you who know Thomas and friends will know that there's a little bit of a problem there because James is really not a big fan of hauling freight. In fact, normally he just completely refuses to do it. Now today I've managed to persuade him, goodness knows how, but he has agreed to it. You can see he has got a smile on his face, but I don't think that's by choice. I've told him he's got to smile and put on a good show. Otherwise, he'll be pulling freight for the rest of his life, which he absolutely doesn't want. Anyway, we haven't really got time to worry too much about James because there are lots and lots of jobs to be done today, so I'm going to catch you up on all of those right now. So if we take a look at the turntable here, you can see there are two engines waiting on there. First of all, we've got Oliver, and as you can tell, I think he looks a little bit distressed there. And the problem is he's lost Toad. He has no idea where Toad is. Now, I've heard from the villagers that Toad has been spotted in between some ocean wagons stuck on the main line just there. So we're going to have to send one of Thomas or James, I think probably James, to rescue those. And speaking of ocean wagons, we have Mavis here on the turntable as well, and she is going to collect up all of the ocean wagons so that she can make a delivery later on today. And if we take a look around the layout, you can see that there are some various ocean wagons waiting around in the various sidings, so that's just fine. Now we also have another major problem. As you can see, we have two passenger coaches here waiting at the country station, and they are full of passengers waiting to be taken to Toy Town station, but they've been waiting there all day and they're starting to sort of hit the roof a little bit. As you can see, we've got an old man here climbed onto the roof of a coach. So we need to get one of the engines to deliver those passengers to Toy Town before they go absolutely crazy. Also, later on tonight, there's going to be a party held at the local pub. Of course, they need all sorts of snacks and food in order to host a party like that, so they've sent us, that is the railway company, a shopping list. And just so that you're caught up, I will let you know what the shopping list is. So we need crisps, snacks and nuts, as well as fish fingers. We need peanuts, we need bread, and also we need chips to make chip butties, of course. We need baked beans, and finally Kit Kats. And there are wagons for those all over the layout, of course, and our two shunting engines are going to have to pick those up and deliver those off to the pub. Now finally, there's an abandoned coach somewhere on the inside line, and unfortunately it desperately needs repairs, so we need one of our shunting engines to go and pick that up and take it to the engine shed for repairs. So I think that basically sums it all up. We are ready to go. I think we will get James to go backwards, actually, tender first, towards the footbridge where Toad and the ocean wagons are waiting, and we will start off by getting Toad reunited with Oliver, and then I think Thomas can head over to the inside line where we have the crisp snacks, nuts and fish fingers, and we can make a start on those deliveries for the pub for their party later on. Okay, let's get to it. Let's send our engines off. Okay, see you later, James. Come and catch up with you, and Thomas can get off forwards and we'll get him onto the inside line. So while James is en route to Toad and the other wagons, we will get Thomas onto the inside line so we can start picking up those all-important snacks, which have gotten me quite hungry actually. I don't know about you guys. Anyway, there we go. That's Thomas now on the right track. If I just shut these points again, and I'll shut this one too just for safety in case James decides to come this way later on. And let's get Thomas to pick up the snacks. And speaking of James, let's go and see where he's got to. Yeah, James is in the area. He's just passing Toy Town. Okay, let's aim for a nice steady coupling. There we go, and James can now head back towards the turntable with those. There we go, hopefully he can manage them. Seems just fine. And let's go and see where Thomas has got to, shall we? Yeah, Thomas has more or less arrived at the sidings. You can just about see the first of the snacks just there. So if you just stop yourself there, Thomas, we'll swap those points. There we are, just head backwards then, Thomas, and you should end up... Oh, if you don't stop, let's bang on the ground, see if that helps. Yes, it did. Jolly good. Right, steady on, Thomas, steady on. Right. Forwards you go then, and we'll probably get you to meet up with James in just a second. And let's go and check in with James, see if he's nearly at the turntable yet. Yes, James seems to be making good progress, as you can see. He's pretty much almost there at the turntable. And once he arrives, he's going to have to do quite an interesting shunting manoeuvre. So let's take a look and see how he does with that, shall we? Okay, well this is the siding that leads to the turntable, so that's the one for James for sure. So you just stop yourself the other side of those points, James, and we'll see how we can get Toad to Oliver. So switch the points, back yourself up then, James. Keep going until I say to stop. And can stop just there, that's fine. Now James, if you can, I want you to uncouple the back two ocean wagons. Yep, very good. Now head yourself forwards again, oh not back, definitely forwards. And now Toad is right at the back of the train, which is exactly what we want. So stop yourself there, let's switch this point. And now James, you can back yourself right up to the turntable and we'll deliver Toad off to Oliver. Alright, you got to be steady James, because if this derails we're in trouble. Gently does it. Okay, perfect James. Right, we can uncouple Toad now. Let's get that done. Okay, thank you James. If you just come forwards then, we should be able to turn the turntable. There we go. You just mind out of the way there James. Right, let's get this turntable facing Oliver then, and then all Oliver's got to do is pick up Toad. Right. Okay then Oliver, it's your stage. Oh dear, that doesn't look too good. Can we do it? Yes, he's done it. Okay, perfect. Right, let's see that James gets the rest of those ocean wagons then. So now you see we haven't got a Toad sandwich anymore with these ocean wagons, so if James backs up now, we can couple him up to these ocean wagons. Alright, well done James, and you can, I think you can drop those there. Okay, well done James, you head off and we'll catch up with you in just a second. For now though, Thomas has surely got to be close by now, so let's go and see what he's up to. Yep, Thomas is basically with us, so I think since he started picking up the snacks, he might as well go and grab the rest. So as you can see there, we have the chips and the bread. And if we look further down that siding, you can see that James's coaches are back there. So I think it's probably handiest if Thomas grabs the chips and bread to start with, and then James can go ahead and grab the coaches. So come on then, Thomas, let's get you onto the inside line, and we'll pick up the rest of those deliveries. Right, so we'll get him to cross these express points, and then he's spot on. He's right on the outside line, I'm sorry. Alright Thomas, we'll set some more points for you and you can pick up the rest of the deliveries for the pub. Okay, so that point there and that point there should get us onto the next lot. There we go. Oh, I think Thomas might have derailed as well slightly there. Oh, Thomas, we're going to have to bring in the hand of God just very briefly there. Right, let's change direction and bring him forwards again. And there is a lone Kit Kat wagon in the siding over there, so I think we'll head for that next. Right, Thomas, have you seen that? Come on then. Oops, he's off again, right. I obviously didn't put him back on properly. Right, we're getting quite a few snacks together. Right, switch that point, send him back. And I'll open this point. Alright, you've got to be careful, Thomas, backing into these sidings. It certainly can be a little bit dodgy. Whip this point in. There we are. Alright, perfect. So now the coaches, these coaches of course, in the siding behind are completely free. So James can head back into there, I think, and grab those coaches, and finally, at last, he can deliver those restless passengers back to Toy Town Station, which is their destination. So let's go and find James and we'll get him to do that. I think he'll be quite pleased to be dealing with some passenger coaches for a change. Alright James, it's your time to shine. You get some passenger coaches, so I'll just open these points again. Please don't derail. Do you know what? My Thomas engines don't like these points, do they? Never mind, we're okay. Okay, let's just shut that point for him. There we go. Ooh, blimey, that was a rough coupling. Okay, forward you go then, James, and we will get you to Toy Town as soon as we can. Okay then Thomas, so while James is on his travels, you might as well try and finish off all the deliveries for the pub. And I think there are just a couple of wagons still to collect. We've got the lonely peanut wagon there on the turntable, and then we've got the Heinz baked beans van over towards the factory, so we can do that. First though, let's head over to the turntable then and collect the peanuts. So let me give Thomas a little bit of juice. There we go, just get yourself out of that siding nice and slowly. If we do it slowly, hopefully there won't be any derailments this time. There we go, that's looking better. Okay, Thomas, see you at the turntable. Oops, I think that's a minor fatality there. Well, never mind, James. You got all but one of the passengers delivered safely. Right, if you're up for it, James, there is another coach-related job for you on the inside line. We've got to pick up the broken coach just there and bring it to the engine shed. So if you want to go ahead and give that a try, head over to the inside line and pick it up whenever you're ready. Right, so Thomas can actually leave the rest of his wagons just there while he nips onto the turntable to fetch the peanuts. Right, forward you come then, Thomas. There we go, that's fine. I'll switch your point. Whoa, not too roughly. And then onto the turntable he goes. There we go, that should do it. Let's bring him round again. Okay, Thomas, go ahead and pick up the peanuts. There you go, forward you go. And hopefully they'll both actually fit onto the turntable. Hopefully. Yeah, it looks like they will do. Okay, that's pretty good. Right, off you go then, Thomas. Forward you go. Now it's a bit of a cheat, but if we send Thomas all the way around the outside line now, he should come up on the back of this freight train here, and then we won't get a Thomas sandwich. So we'll leave Thomas to do that, and we'll check in with James. Okay, James, I'll switch the points for you then, so that you can get yourself onto the inside line. Start backing yourself up, and I'll swap these. There we are. That should do it. Give James a little bit more, just so he doesn't come off. Okay, go quite gently if you can, James. Don't forget it is a damaged coach, so we don't want to be too rough. Alright. Oh, and Thomas has almost arrived, so let's go and get him to couple up to the rest of his train. Okay, nice and gently does it. Now, of course, before James can deliver the broken coach to the engine shed, Thomas is going to have to nip in first and grab the Heinz and also the ocean wagons so that they're not boxed in there. So, Thomas, you're going to have to beat James there, so if you think you can do it, get a move on, and hopefully you will. Okay, Thomas, across these points then, let me open up these. There you go, into the engine shed. Okay, Thomas, let's have a nice gentle coupling then. There we go, looks good to me. Alright, let's take these back round towards the turntable then, and we'll get those processed. Okay, I'll shut these points, and off you go then, Thomas. Go all the way back around to the turntable, as I say, and you can get everything coupled together. Alright then, let's try to get James on the outside line then, so that he can deliver his broken coach. There we go. Stop yourself there then, James, and we're just going to have to wait for Thomas to clear the line before James can do that. But yeah, Thomas is out the way now, so I can swap these points, and James can come in. Alright, James, carefully does it. And we'll check in with you in just a second, James. You head on up to the engine shed. I think you know where it is. You've been inside it before. And we'll make sure that Thomas gets coupled to his goods train, well, his food train, and get it delivered. Okay, Thomas, steadily does it then. We're going to couple the baked beans van to the end of the rest of the goods train. And then we're going to stop. And Thomas, if you could uncouple the Heinz van now, that should leave us in a really strong position. Right, now if you bring Thomas forwards, there we are. I should be able to send him back like this, and he will couple to the rest of the ocean wagons. Perfect, and if we keep going backwards with the whole lot, we should eventually arrive with the rest. Right, I'll just make sure this point here is set. Go on, Thomas, don't give up now. Okay, very nice. Let's bring these forwards again then. Blimey, there's quite a lot there. Hopefully Thomas will manage them okay. Ooh, we got away with that one. Did you see that? Crikey. Right, as soon as those points are clear, we can send him back. Alright, perfect. Just flick that point there then. Right, and then I think we're going to be picking up the very last ones. Right, again, nice and slowly over the points. There we are, perfect. Right, let's get these forwards then, and then we will leave them in a place where Mavis, I think it is going to go and pick those up. Okay, and Mavis should be able to pick those up from there. So Thomas, you can drop those off just there if you like, and then you can grab your snack train. Go on, Thomas. Give it some. Go on, give it some. There we go. Switch the point back, and let's get him coupled to his all-important snack train. There we go. Alright, Thomas, let's get you towards the pub then. Perfect, and we will go and catch up with James and his broken coach. Okay, James, you can just stop yourself there then, and I'll switch the point. There we go. Alright, James, back yourself up, and you can drop off the coach. All right, fantastic. Well, that's it, James. I don't think I've got any more jobs for you. So if you want to, I'm sure you're going to need it. You can stay there in the shed with the coach. You can watch the repairs and probably get a little bit of rest as well. You definitely deserve it. So thank you for your help, James. Let's just check back in with Thomas and see how he's getting on with that very final delivery. Right, Thomas, well, the pub has never had a delivery this big before, so it's definitely not all going to fit into that siding. So it looks as though we are just going to have to obstruct the main line very slightly. Now, if the Fat Controller was here, he would bust a gut at that because it's not a very safe way of doing things. However, he's not in today and I'm in charge, so I'm happy to do it. But as soon as the pub has finished unloading, they're going to have to get those out the way. However, that's not our problem. So well done, Thomas. You can stay there for a rest if you like, and we will go and tell Mavis that her coal trucks are ready to move. Okay then, Mavis, we are just about ready for you. Your ocean wagons are all completely ready. So let's see if we can do this in one go. Let's get the turntable turned first of all. There we go. Let's get Mavis onto it. There we go, just fine. It doesn't matter which way she goes because she's got a coupling on both ends, so that will be just fine. Let's get her off the bridge. There we go, all the way around here. Stop just there, switch this point, change Mavis's direction and get her to couple up to the ocean wagons, and hopefully she will be able to couple to them and pull them. Right, everybody, I think at long last we have done it. Oliver is back with Toad, reunited. Mavis has got all of her coal wagons. The passengers have been delivered safely to Toy Town, or not very safely as it turns out. The party at the pub is all sorted out, and we've gotten rid of the abandoned coach. So I think that is just about it. Thank you very, very much, everybody, for watching that. I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any ideas for future shunting challenges, do let me know, and I can definitely do those. But for now, Mavis, I think that is about it from us. So if you want to take your deliveries away, I will say goodbye. So cheers everybody, and I will see you next time.